So I get so many inquiries about our skin shots and what all the different products do. The skin shots are a range of single ingredient serums. So they target specific areas that you need to combat. So I'm going to first talk about niacinamide. So niacinamide is an amazing ingredient. It sort of covers the spectrum for everybody. So whether you have problem skin or whether you have sort of mature skin that's aging, or whether you're just looking to overall improve the texture and the sort of the look of your skin, niacinamide will work for everybody. So it's really one of those ingredients that everybody can make use of. I have got some notes to refer to because I can't always remember all of these things about all of the ingredients on our products, so I'm going to kind of look down a little bit. Niacinamide is actually vitamin B3, which is quite interesting because we need to eat vitamins, but we also need to put them on our skins. A lot of the products that we use are things like vitamin C, vitamin CoQ10, vitamin B5, which is panthenol. So all of the things that we actually need inside our bodies, we actually need to put on the outside as well to help. The big things about niacinamide are they promote clearer skin, they protect against pollution, they help reduce inflammation, they regulate the sebum levels of the skin, and they improve the skin barrier. And when you improve the skin barrier, you ultimately are going to help with reducing enlarged pores, with the evening out of skin tone, protecting against age accelerating aggressors, and those are kind of in a nutshell the great things about why you should be using niacinamide. It's really easy to use if you're using it as a single ingredient. All you do is you simply put the liquid on your hands and you can just pat it onto your face after you've cleansed before you moisturize. So at Pink, we use niacinamide quite a lot in our products because it's such a nice, easy ingredient to formulate with, and it's also nice for everybody's skin. So we have it available in the skin shots. We have the niacinamide available as a skin shot, so it's a highly concentrated 10% concentrate of it, so you can, this is the one you would just add under your moisturizer. We also have it in our Super Skin, which is our intense moisturizer, anti-aging moisturizer with the CoQ10 in, which I spoke about earlier. And then it's also in the Hyaluronic Refine, which is an amazing essence toner treatment. So this is a toner, but it's got hyaluronic acid and the niacinamide in it as well. So that is basically, in a nutshell, everything that you need to know about niacinamide. Lactic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid, which means that it is a water soluble one, not a oil soluble one like BHAs, which is an example like salicylic acid. So therefore it's a very mild exfoliator. It's milder than something like glycolic because glycolic is got a smaller molecule, so it obviously is a little bit more harsher on the skin. So what lactic acid does is it helps to exfoliate the skin by removing the top layer of the skin, basically, because it increases cell turnover and helps those dead skin cells to shed. Another thing about lactic acid, which is great, is that it increases the ceramides in the skin, which are an important fatty acid in our skin, and that helps to protect our skin barrier. And obviously with skincare, it's all about protecting the skin barrier. Another few factors that lactic acid are good for are things like uneven skin tone, fine lines and wrinkles, dullness, and an uneven texture. Now, everyone's skins are different. Some people's skins thrive on things like glycolic acid and even retinols, and others like lactic acid. So it really depends on your skin type, but generally lactic acid is a very mild exfoliator, or an AHA, so it's pretty well tolerated by most skins. So if you have a very sensitive skin and you do need an acid for exfoliation, this is going to be the one that you go for, not glycolic acid. So you can use it daily, but obviously some people can only tolerate it twice a week. What it'll do is actually dry your skin out, and then you know that it's actually too much that you've used. You can use it directly. The drops from our skin shots, which look like this, you can just put in your hand and put underneath your moisturizer, or you could also put it into your moisturizer as well, and just play around with it, see how much your skin can tolerate. It's really great in combination with hyaluronic acid. The two work very well together. You can expect a little bit of redness and tingling from using lactic acid, but it should never burn. And if you do have sensitive skin, then you need to do a patch test on your neck before you put it on your face, just to make sure that it's okay for you. And obviously you always need to wear a sunscreen. You do not go out in the sun anyway without a sunscreen, but specifically if you've been using any acids like lactic acid or glycolic or salicylic acid on your face. So I hope that was informative, and if you have any questions, let us know. So we are going to talk a little bit about salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid. It is not an alpha hydroxy acid like lactic acid and glycolic acid. So the difference with a beta hydroxy acid is that actually it's an oil penetrating, in other words, it breaks down oils, where alpha hydroxy acids are water soluble, the BHAs are oil soluble. So what does that mean? It means that it actually penetrates oily skin and it breaks down the glue that's inside of our pores, which helps to get rid of the excess sebum, and at the same time it then exfoliates by increasing the shedding of cells. So what does that mean in real life? It means that on a blackhead, it's literally going to go into the pore where it's clogged and it's all blocked up with sebum basically, and it is going to help to break down that glue and that sebum and then to push it out so that it naturally will go away on its own. The nice thing about salicylic acid is you can also use it on ingrown hairs. You can use it on pimples like spot treatments. It's fantastic for keratosis pilaris, which is that chicken skin that a lot of people get underneath their arms. And it also helps with blocked and clogged pores. It really does help to clean out your pores. And so therefore at the same time it's going to actually decrease the appearance of your pores, because obviously we know, I've made lots of videos about this, pores are not doors, they don't open and close. But because your pores are being exfoliated regularly and cleared out of excess oil, they will appear smaller if you use salicylic acid. It also helps to soften wrinkles, and it's fantastic ingredient for fungal acne. You need to use a sunscreen when you use salicylic acid, and I also wouldn't put it on in the morning. And if you go for microdermabrasion or microblading, you need to stop using it 2 weeks before you go, because it is basically exfoliating your skin at a much higher rate, and your skin is tender and sensitive, and if you go and microblade on it, it's going to be a problem. So make sure you don't use it for 2 weeks at least before going to one of those things. So we have salicylic acid in a couple of our products. The most popular one, I would say, aside from the Skin Shot, is our Just Be Kind range. We have this Crystal Clear, which is a spot treatment for skin, and this has got salicylic acid in it. So what I do is, if I'm about to get a pimple, I can always feel that uncomfortable feeling under my skin. I will put this on at night time, because obviously I don't want to look like a, I can't think of a nice word, like a palooka when I go out with big white spots all over my face. So I put it on at night time on my spots, and literally when I wake up the next morning, that spot is diminished and gone, and it never actually breaks out. If you do get to such a stage where it's coming out to the top, you can put this on. It helps to dry it out. It doesn't have alcohol in it though, so it doesn't dry your skin out. It just helps to really absorb oil and the inflammation that comes with pimples. And then the other thing we obviously have it in is our Skin Shot. So this is pure concentrated salicylic acid, and this you would just apply directly onto the skin. So today we're going to talk about Squalane. What is Squalane? Where does it come from? How to use it? So Squalane is actually derived from something called squalene. So squalene is hydrogenated into squalane. The name of squalane actually comes from, or should I say the name of squalene actually comes originally from shark's liver, I think, to create the squalene. And one of the genus names of shark is Squalus, and that's where the name originally came from. But obviously now, these days, we don't use animal products, hopefully, in our skincare. So they've obviously found a way of making the squalane that comes from olives and sugarcane and wheat germ, and that's obviously the product that we use. And as far as I know, most of the brands that I've seen that use squalane, it is from obviously not the animals and from the plants. So squalane is not an oil, it's actually a hydrocarbon, and that's important because that means that people that have an aversion or a reaction to oil, a lot of clients have, when they put anything with oil on their skin, it reacts and it blocks and whatever, they have problems. So the nice thing with squalane is it's not an oil at all, so you can literally use it 100% concentrated safely. It's great for things like fungal acne because it's not an oil, and fungal acne feeds on oils. I have a whole panel discussion on fungal acne if you want to watch that as well, if that's something that you have to deal with. So the lovely thing about squalane is that it's very easily absorbed, and it basically helps to protect the transepidermal water loss of your skin. And transepidermal water loss is a problem because obviously that means that your skin is releasing water and therefore becoming dry. So most moisturizers help with that, but Squalane is very effective at that. It also helps to increase luminosity and vibrancy. It helps to lessen your fine lines and wrinkles. It reduces redness. It's also a natural antioxidant, and it helps to repair the skin barrier. You can also use it on your nails and in your hair as well, just putting it on the ends. It's great as a cuticle oil as well. So the best way to use Squalane is you literally can use it 100% concentrated. So we have Squalane in quite a lot of our products. We do sell a skin shot. I think it's this one. And it's in a lot of our other moisturizers and things as well. So you can either take it and use it as a serum under your moisturizer, over your moisturizer. Traditionally, you're always supposed to use thinner to thicker, but it's not actually an oil, so you can mix it in with your moisturizer. You can put it underneath your moisturizer. You can use it instead of a moisturizer, and it's a really amazing ingredient for literally everyone. So from people with acne that feel like they don't want to moisturize because they feel like it's going to make their skin more oily, which it actually doesn't, but especially for people that don't like using oil, the Squalane is perfect. And for anyone with wrinkles, fine lines, and just a little bit of, it's just an amazing ingredient, and it's an all-rounder, and everyone can use it. So that's it all about Squalane. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, which means that it protects the skin cells from the damage that free radicals do. These are caused by UV exposure mostly. It also helps to inhibit melanin production in the skin, which is what helps to lighten hyperpigmentation and brown spots. It also helps to even out skin tone and enhance the skin radiance. Because it's highly acidic, when vitamin C is used topically, the skin is triggered to heal itself by accelerating the production of collagen and elastin. So in helping to promote this collagen production, topical vitamin C can actually help to prevent premature aging of the skin. That is why it's such an awesome ingredient. And with topical use, vitamin C can definitely help to prevent dark spots from forming in the first place. Encapsulated ascorbic acid is the best form and the most stable and effective form of vitamin C in skincare. When you add vitamin E into the mix, it's like the best of both worlds, because what it does is it really helps to elevate the goodness of the vitamin C. Pure ascorbic acid has consistently been proven to be the most effective at penetrating the skin barrier. Vitamin C is even better when it's combined with other antioxidants like vitamin E. So when the two of them are mixed together, you actually get double protection against free radical damage. So we actually add vitamin E into our vitamin C. So what I do for our vitamin C is, because ascorbic acid is highly unstable, and as soon as you add water to it, it starts to go orange, and then it starts to go oranger, and it eventually goes dark, and then it's basically ineffective. So the best way to use vitamin C is as fresh as possible. Now obviously when you're putting vitamin C into a formula and you're making it, you're storing it, you're shipping it, you're keeping it on the shelves all over the world, well obviously all over the world vitamin C is being sold, it's getting old, and it's basically, as soon as it's exposed to air, it's going to start oxidizing. So what I've decided to do with our vitamin C is, we have two vitamin C products, and the one is called Fresh, which is the liquid portion in here, and then you get the powder portion in this. And when you get it, you actually take the powder portion and you mix it into the liquid portion. You put the lid on, you shake it so that it all gets constituted together, and then you can use this up within a month, and you'll see that it will start to go brown, or not brown, sorry, it starts to go orange. Eventually it'll go brown because it's oxidized. So basically that vitamin C is ineffective, and once it starts doing that, you shouldn't use it anymore. So you need to use it within a month, and you need to try and store it in the fridge. So we also sell this version in a skin shot. So what we do is we pre-mix it for you. It's a slightly smaller amount. We literally mix it for you when we ship it. So we get an order on a Friday, we start shipping on a Monday or Tuesday. Jade will actually go and she'll take the ingredients and she'll mix them together and post them. So you literally have a month, because a lot of people don't like to do it themselves, so we just have those two options for you. So that's how we like to sell our vitamin C, because it's literally as fresh as possible. So you only need a few drops for each application, and it's really best to start out with a very low concentration and then work your way up as your skin grows more accustomed to it. I would recommend a few drops in your moisturizer at first, while you're just trying to get used to it. Never use it in the daytime. It can make your skin sun sensitive. Use it at the nighttime. It is not for sensitive skin ever. And make sure that you never use it within a few hours of using either of the acids, like the salicylic acid, the glycolic acid, or retinol. That's even including face washes and spot treatments. Because if you do this, you are going to get burning or stinging and redness. Make sure you avoid contact with your eyes as well. And a tingling sensation can be expected after application. That is 100% normal. Tingling, not burning. If the sensation is too strong to tolerate, then you need to mix the formula with something else, another cream or a serum, just to make it milder. So you can basically either just take the liquid, put it in your hand, put it on your face, and then when it's dry, put your moisturizer on. But if that is too strong for you in the beginning, you can literally just put one drop into your moisturizer and put it on, and then slowly start building up the tolerance towards it. So that's all about vitamin C, and yeah, I hope you found that interesting. Now, hyaluronic acid is not an acid, even though it's called an acid. So you get the acids like salicylic acid, glycolic, lactic acid. Hyaluronic acid is not one of those. Hyaluronic acid is actually a naturally occurring polysaccharide in the human body. And it acts as a cushioning and lubricating agent for our joints and our skin and our eyes. Why we use it in cosmetic products is because it helps to prevent moisture loss. It's a humectant. It's anti-inflammatory as well. It has great water binding activity. So it basically attracts water and keeps it in, which is a great thing when you're obviously needing to use it on your skin. It's found in the middle spinous layer of the skin, not in the top layer of the skin. So it's a very powerful humectant that can bind 1,000 times of its weight in water. It's really fun to formulate with, because as soon as it's a powder, and as soon as I add it to the water and I start to blend it, it literally just swells up into a gel and thickens, and it's so fun to work with. So older and dry skin is characterized by lower levels of hyaluronic acid. If you're 50 years old, you're going to have about half the amount of hyaluronic acid that you would have had in your skin when you were 25. So HA won't penetrate your skin to increase the amount of HA in your stratum spinosum, which is where it's found. It will, however, make your stratum corneum feel nicer, which is obviously the top layer. So if it doesn't penetrate our skin, does it actually do any good? Yes, it does. Studies have shown that the application of topical hyaluronic acid can form films on the skin, which helps to increase moisture, reduce moisture loss, which is transepidermal water loss, obviously, so it helps reduce that. It helps to speed up wound healing, it reduces inflammation, it decreases the formation of age spots, it softens the skin and restores elasticity to the skin, which can reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. One really great thing about hyaluronic acid is it's very light and watery, and it's for the consistency of it, it really packs a punch. For such a light, watery thing, it feels just like a gel, but it's an amazing ingredient. So it's really great for anyone with acne-prone skin who's averse to creamy oils and moisturizers. Now, the trick with hyaluronic acid is to use it under your moisturizer. Because it's a humectant, it means that it attracts water to it. So what happens is, if you're in a very dry and arid area, like say in South Africa we have the Karoo, and you put hyaluronic acid on, it can actually, so they say, it's like absorb the water from your body and basically let it go out. So what you need to do is make sure that you seal your hyaluronic acid with a moisturizer. So you always put it underneath your moisturizer. If a moisturizer has hyaluronic acid in it, it will already be sealing it in because it has an occlusive in it, which makes it seal in it on its own. So the things that we have hyaluronic acid in, some of our products, are quite a few. Like I said, it is quite a trendy ingredient, and it's quite an effective ingredient as well. And it's also nice to use across the range of skins, because sort of the drier, more mature, aging skins love it, as well as the oily skins. So in our range, we have it in quite a few options. We have our hyaluronic acid skin shots. We have our hyaluronic acid plump up, which is actually sold out. I need to make more. It's super popular. It's in our Super Skin, which is our anti-aging intense moisturizer. It's in the Hydra Refine, which is an essence toner serum with niacinamide and obviously the hyaluronic acid in it. It is also in, there's something else. It's also in our setting spray, which is also sold out. So our makeup setting spray, it's got that in as well. So that's pretty much all that you need to know about hyaluronic acid and why it's good for your skin. And yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. So now that we've given you an overview of all of the different ingredients that we sell in our Skin Shot range, I'm going to try and explain to you how to use them best. So for me, the best thing about single ingredient serums like this is that it enables you to take a relatively inexpensive moisturizer like our Every Skin or literally like anything you can buy at Clicks, and you can then tailor make that moisturizer to have all of the ingredients that you are looking for in your skincare. The big thing with skincare, especially for us women, is that on some days your skin is oilier, some days your skin is drier, some days you have a pimple, some days you've been in the sun and you might have sun damage. So our skin is different throughout the month. It's never the same. So you technically shouldn't be using one or whatever, however many products consistently every single day the same, because you don't really need that. You'll see some days your skin needs more exfoliation, some days your skin needs more luminosity, more brightness, some days you haven't had enough sleep and you have your fine lines and wrinkles are more predominant. So that's a nice thing with these Skin Shots. You can literally change up your skincare routine as you need to in a relatively easy, cheap and really easy way. So for example, let's take something like, I'm trying to think of examples. So I wake up in the morning and I can feel straight away when my skin is my skin starts to feel like leather. If I wash my face in the morning, I can feel it's like a bit leathery, and then I know I haven't exfoliated. So then you can either use an actual physical exfoliator, which is like our Pink Clay Scrub or our Smooth. It's an actual physical exfoliator with microbeads in it, because obviously we don't use plastic beads. Sorry, not microbeads. We don't use plastic beads. We use jojoba beads and all our stuff. So you can take a physical exfoliator and exfoliate your skin once a week, or you can use something like lactic acid. So you can use the lactic acid. You can either use lactic acid when you feel like you need to, or every day as a light exfoliator to prevent your skin from needing a physical exfoliation. Some people prefer physical, some people prefer chemical. This is a chemical exfoliant, obviously. Then there are other days where I'm going to wake up and all of a sudden I've got like oily, my T section is a lot oilier than it was a few days ago, because it's going to be that time of month or whatever it is. And then I would use something like the salicylic acid. So the salicylic acid I would put on my blackhead area, and even here sometimes you need to use this for a couple of days or 5 or 6 days just to help to unglue all of the gunk that's basically inside there, so that it helps to get rid of that as well. Then there'll be other days when I wake up and I feel like, oh, my skin is so dry today. You know, I had a hectic day yesterday. I didn't drink enough water. I was in the sun, or for whatever reason. And then I would literally use some of the Squalane in my moisturizer or underneath my moisturizer as well. I mean, I always use my moisturizer, so it just depends on which one. Then niacinamide is something that you can literally use every single day when you feel just you want to add extra everything to your skin, because this stuff is amazing. It's an amazing ingredient. It's got so many attributes that you would make use of no matter what type of skin you have. So this you can also just add on those days. And then obviously we have hyaluronic acid, which is like the perfect solution for dry skin. It's a perfect solution for wrinkles. So you literally can mix and match all of these as you go through the month. Don't mix salicylic acid and vitamin C together, obviously. Try and be very careful with lactic acid as well if you're going to use vitamin C, but generally they're all pretty safe to use. Specifically, you can use one in the morning and one at night. But the nice thing is that you can just mix and match your skincare to suit your skin for the day, and for however long you need to use it, you stop it, then you carry on with something else. So that's in a nutshell how to use all of the different Skin Shots in your skincare routine.